Hello Internet, my name's Catherine and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about my freshman year of high school and advice that I wish I had my freshman year of high school. You can't tell, but I'm wearing my Northeastern hoodie right now, or just like sweatshirt I guess, which I thought was appropriate. Thought I'd be able to see it. But you can't, that's okay. But I just have a whole bunch of notes written out on my phone of like things that I wish I knew, and I'm just gonna split them up into some categories. We're gonna talk about some stuff, and yeah, all right, let's go. This is gonna be your guide to your freshman year of college. So the first category that I have is dorm life, because I wanted to just split stuff up because I thought it would be easier than just having like random facts or pieces of advice thrown out everywhere. So yeah, first things first, I said to decorate your dorm so that it feels a little bit more like home. This doesn't have to be anything big. I did a pretty good amount of decorating in mine, but this can just be adding up a couple of posters or some pictures or something like that so that you kind of feel like home when you go into your dorm. Additionally, having a twin-size bed is not that bad. You will adjust, at least if you're like me and you're not that tall. It's not that bad. You do adjust pretty quickly. And I also had communal bathrooms my first year, which I know a good amount of colleges have, but surprisingly also a lot of them don't have anymore, which is wild to me. But basically I shared a bathroom with my whole floor, and it's not that bad. You adjust to it, you shower when you shower. There's always room, so you're good. Try to keep healthy snacks in your dorm. I didn't do this as much, and I wish I did, because I snacked so much in college. We have this little market at Northeastern called Walston's, and it was super close to my dorm building last year, so I would literally just like walk over and pick up a snack and then walk back to my dorm. It was horrible, and we could also use our Husky dollars there, so it's like I wasn't spending actual money. But don't do that, or if you do that, get healthy snacks. I recommend that because the freshman 15 is real, at least it was real for me, and I thought that it wasn't going to be a problem for me, but it was. A lot of the times at dining halls, the healthy food doesn't taste very good, so you don't want to eat it. So you want to eat the stuff that's unhealthy, like the pizza and everything like that. That's what I did. But you know what? It is normal and natural for your weight to fluctuate. Do not freak out about it. Do not worry. You are going to be just fine. Learn how to hack your dining hall. There tends to be like a place with like seasoning and some like condiments and stuff. Utilize that if you're tasting something and you're like, this is so bland, because a lot of the time dining hall food is super bland because they don't know if anybody's allergic to anything, so they can't put a whole lot of stuff on it. So you can go and season stuff yourself, and that makes it a lot better. There's also just like, you know, like you figure things out as you go. Like we put like chocolate chips in our waffles, which isn't like super innovative, but you know, like did stuff like that. Or we put like cookies through like the little toaster oven so that they got warm. There's just like different things that you can do. Make like a root beer float with vanilla soft serve and root beer. There's just different stuff you can do to make it a little bit more fun. Having a roommate, if you're gonna have one, I did it. It's not bad, it's just different. And as long as you have an open communication with your roommate, you guys should really be fine. I think it's best to just be honest with your roommate. There were definitely times when like I did stuff and my roommate was like, hey, would you mind like not doing that? And I was like, oh my gosh, yes, of course, thank you for telling me. You know, so it's just like, you guys are cohabitating, so you both want to feel comfortable in the space that you're sharing. So make sure you're communicating and not just like texting your friends and being like, oh my gosh, my roommate's being so annoying. Like, talk to them about it, and then you can probably resolve the issue pretty easily. And then also about like kind of finding a roommate, there's a couple different ways you can go. You can just go random, and sometimes you'll fill out like 5 questions and they'll try to match you with somebody they think you'd fit with. Or you can kind of request a roommate. At least I think you can at a lot of schools. I know not all of them. And the way I recommend doing this is going on to your school's Facebook page. Once you've decided where you're going to school, join the Facebook page. So it should be like, for me it was like Northeastern University, class of 2022. So whatever like class you're gonna be, so I guess for this next year it would be class of 2023, you can join that Facebook group for whatever school you're going to or thinking about going to, and a lot of people will just post little pictures and like summaries of themselves so you can get to know each other, and they'll also like posts her Instagram and stuff. And that's actually how my roommate and I met and like saw each other and started talking. And we were pretty great roommates, I think, and we're rooming together again next year, and she's one of my best friends, so worked out pretty well for me. I know for some people it doesn't always work out, but I think as long as you're just like honest with each other, you'll be good. Don't be saying what you think the other person wants to hear, because then you're gonna get to school and you're gonna be living with them and it's not gonna be like that. So yeah. Okay, that was all I had for like dorm life stuff, so now we're moving on to academics. So after the first couple days of school, once you have all of your syllabi, take them. Each professor should give you one. They should either post it online on whatever like platform your school uses, or give it to you in class. And then go through all of them and write everything down in your planner. So like whenever you have a test or a quiz, whenever homework is due, stuff like that. And for each class, you can either write the name of the class next to it or like color code it, however works for you. Or maybe you like the Apple calendar, whatever you use to kind of stay organized. I totally recommend just writing everything down for the whole semester, so that way you like can see everything right in front of you and you don't have to be like, oh wait, do I have something due, and like flip through your syllabus and everything. You won't have to do that, so I recommend doing that. It's a lifesaver. You don't need to ask to go to the bathroom in college. You're welcome. You don't have to raise your hand, whether it's a small classroom or a big lecture hall. I mean, some teachers might like ask you to, but I've never had a teacher ask me to. We've just always been like, you can just go to the bathroom if you have to go to the bathroom, which makes way more sense than in high school when you had to raise your hand. It was like, what? That's just like, it's disrupting the whole thing. Whereas in college, they're like, just quietly leave and then quietly come back and don't disrupt everything. You'll be good. Bring a reusable water bottle with you to every class. I have my water bottle, it's like my little Northeastern University one, and I've put some stickers on it so it's a little personalized, but you can do whatever water bottle you want, obviously. And then you just can fill it up in between classes, because when I get bored, I will drink water. If I like don't want to pay attention, I'll drink water. Like if it's there, I'll drink it. So if you just keep filling it up in between classes, you'll find that you drink so much water. Like I will drink one 32-ounce thing in like an hour lecture, and then I'll do that like for every class that I have. So I'm doing that like 3 to 4 times a day, which is really good for you. So do that. Try not to take notes on your laptop. I'm really guilty of this. I do that, but I also get super distracted. So if it's like a lecture and I'm bored, I'll just like check my email or like go online shopping. And like, you're not paying to like go online shopping, you're paying to learn. So either I would say take notes by hand so that like you aren't tempted. It's so hard. Or get one of those like applications or extensions on your computer or laptop or iPad or whatever, so that it blocks certain websites or applications so that you can't like go onto Facebook or whatever it is. I totally recommend doing that. I think you'll get a lot more out of your classes that way. Go to class. It can be a little overwhelming because you are on your own and you can make your own decisions, so you can decide if you want to go to class or not and this whole thing. So it's very easy once you start not going to class, just like not go to class. I've seen a lot of people who like miss one class and then they just like never go to that class again. Don't do that. You are paying to like go to these classes. Each class that you attend is worth like $150 or something like that, based on like how it adds up for the semester and what you're paying. So go to class, just do it. Just even getting attendance, your professor will like you for that if they take attendance. It'll just be helpful to learn in class, so do that. Unless you're a morning person, don't take an 8 a.m. I know we went to class in high school at 8 in the morning. It's so different in college. My sleep schedule changed completely. Like I used to go to bed like by midnight every night in high school. You won't do that in college because you can stay up with your friends that late. You know, like the difference is in high school, your mom's like, no, you can't go hang out with your friends right now, it's 10 p.m. But in college, you're like, oh, I can totally go watch this YouTube video with that friend or whatever. So I found that I stayed up way later. Maybe people have greater self-control than me. I'm also just not a morning person, so don't take an 8 a.m. don't do it unless you're like really a morning person. Wait until the first week of school is done before you buy any textbooks. A lot of the times teachers will have it like written out and they won't actually need all those textbooks. So you can ask people from the previous years who took that class with that professor if they really needed those books. A lot of people also can buy PDFs for super cheap, so it's like an online version of the textbook, so you and your friends can split like a $4 PDF, and it's like the exact same book, it's just online. So as long as you don't feel the need to have a hard copy, I really recommend that. It's a lot cheaper. Never buy books from the bookstore. Never do that. The bookstore is so overpriced, so don't do that. Do like Amazon rentals or things like that, because the truth is you aren't gonna look back at that textbook, so you won't need to like keep it. If you find that you are sick or just like cannot go to class, because I have had days where like I felt disgusting and I could not go to class, email your professors and let them know. That way they know you're not just like missing class. If it's a class that like attendance is taken in and stuff, I wouldn't email like your lecture professor and be like, hey, I'm not gonna be there today, because they're gonna be like, I don't even know who you are. But if you have a class that's like 40 or 50 people or less, your professor probably kind of has a gist of who you are. So let them know you're not gonna be in class and for why, and say that you'll like look on Blackboard for notes or homework or whatever it is. So stay on top of stuff. Nobody's gonna like fill you in on what happened unless you ask. Now we're on to social life. This one is a fun one. My first tip is to go to club fairs and sign up for some clubs. I'm in a couple of clubs and I love them. I talked about that in my freshman year college Q&A. I'll like have it up here. I totally recommend. It will be a great way for you to meet friends who are interested in stuff that you're also interested in. It'll also be a way for you to find stuff to do that's not just academic stuff. You won't feel so bored because you are in class for less time in college than you are when you're in high school. I feel like you have a little bit more work, but you have overall more free time, so signing up for clubs is a great way to help that. Don't go to dorm parties for people that are underage or when you're underage. Just don't do it. Don't go to dorm parties on campus. Getting busted is not fun. It doesn't always happen. It happened to me. I don't drink. You guys know that. I have a whole video on why I'm sober. Planning on making another video kind of updating you on that. But I wasn't even drinking, but I was just like at this little get together to hang out with some friends. It got busted for a noise complaint, but then there was alcohol there and people were underage, so then we had to all go talk to like our like student freaking, I don't know, discipline society or whatever. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. There's so many parties or whatever it is off campus that you can go to that you really can't get in trouble for. So do that instead. Frat parties can be fun, but just know the frat that you're going to, go with friends, stay with your friends, be safe, all that stuff. Don't drink jungle juice. That is one of my recommendations, as so many of my friends did not take this year. You can pregame before the party or have like a beer that is being opened right in front of your eyes, or that you open yourself. But I don't recommend drinking jungle juice just because you literally have no idea what's in it. It could be a whole lot of combinations of alcohols. There could be drugs in there. I have friends who have been drugged at frat parties, and it is just terrifying. So try to be safe and avoid that as much as you can. You don't think these things will happen to you, and then they do. So please be safe. You can also invest, or not even invest, in frat shoes and a frat jacket. The frat jacket is kind of more if you go to school in the north and it's gonna be cold. Just go to like a thrift store or something and find a jacket for just like a couple bucks so that you don't mind losing it at the frat party, because a lot of the times like someone might steal your jacket or whatever if it's like hung up, or you'll try hiding it somewhere and you'll forget it. And then frat shoes are just because the floors of frat basements are disgusting and you do not want to wear like nice shoes. So have shoes that you can clean easily, or shoes that like are black or like you wouldn't care about that much, and always closed-toed. Never even think about wearing an open-toed shoe to a frat party. Don't do it. While frat parties can be fun, it can be just as fun to host a movie night with your friends, go bowling, go to a museum, do a karaoke night, stuff like that. I went to a couple frat parties in the beginning of the year, and I mean, definitely some towards the end of the year, but as the year went on, I just kind of got over it and I just didn't have as much fun. So I preferred to just like stay in or do other stuff. so you can have so much fun doing that too. It might take you a while to make a good group of friends, and that is okay. That's totally normal. You're all being thrown into this new environment and meeting people for the first time, so do not stress if you're like, oh my gosh, I don't have any friends, nobody likes me. You're gonna be okay. And your friend group might be smaller than it was in high school, and that's okay too. You knew those people for a longer time, so you had more time to like get to know more people and for more people to kind of join your group, so don't worry about it, you will find your people. A lot of people's first semester or first year of college is really rough. Don't worry, you will get through it. You might really miss home, you might miss your friends, but you are gonna be okay. I recommend giving things a full year before you decide to leave or transfer or do stuff like that, because a lot of people don't enjoy their first semester anywhere, so don't worry too much about that. Make sure it's really the school and not just you adjusting to everything. Now we are moving on to the last category, of which I've titled the tea. So we're gonna be talking about hookup culture, about everything, so let's go. Hookup culture is real, but you would also be surprised about so many people don't hook up. So while you can definitely hear about people hooking up all the time in college, there's also a whole lot of people who don't do that at all. So whatever you choose to do, be totally fine in that. And don't feel like you have to hook up or like you have to only be looking for casual stuff. You are justified in whatever it is that you want, and if you just want to hook up, that's fine too. It's to each their own. I just think it's best when you're like, something is starting with somebody, you should both be completely honest about what you want, because if you're looking for a relationship and they just want to hook up, but you're like, oh no, I just want to hook up, you're gonna end up getting hurt. So just be honest. Make sure that like you kind of know the person, or just like they have like friends who can vouch for them and stuff. Be safe is the most important part of all of that. And your health center probably has free or super cheap condoms, so there's really no excuse to not use protection and be safe. So there you go. If you do hook up with somebody and then it like doesn't work out and you guys stop talking, you probably will see them like at a dining hall or somewhere around campus. It doesn't have to be awkward. It doesn't. You're gonna feel really awkward, they're gonna feel really awkward. You're gonna wanna like not make eye contact with each other, but you both kind of know you saw each other. Don't do that. It's okay. Just smile, wave, and just keep going. You guys don't need to have a conversation. It doesn't need to be weird, but I think it's better to acknowledge it than to just like ignore them. Tinder can be a great way to boost your ego and meet friends. I was on Tinder for like a week, and I mean, it was a fun time. Nothing came out of that. I started dating my current boyfriend, and then I was like, nope, bye. So yeah, but I did meet people who like I am still friends with now, which is cool. So like I like Snapchat them every day. We have like a Snapchat streak, so we're besties. No, but like it is a fun way to be able to meet people. So you can like put in your bio that like you're just looking for friends, or maybe you're not, and that's fun too. Yeah. If you do go on a Tinder date and are meeting somebody, just tell one of your friends like who you're meeting and where you're gonna be and then how long you think you're gonna be there. Just so your friend kind of has like an overall sense so they can check up on you and stuff. Make sure you're doing okay. Stay safe. If you meet someone in college and you don't like them, you have no obligation to be friends with them or literally see them ever again. You might like run into people unless you go to a huge school, and even then you still might. But a lot of the times, like if you don't want to know somebody, you do not have to. It is lovely. You have no obligation to pretend to be friends with anybody. Drama still happens like it did in high school. Be cautious about the energy you're surrounding yourself with. If you're constantly being surrounded by drama and like negative energy, notice that and, you know, try to like kind of break out of that. It's not fun, but it does still happen. So not everything changes once you get to college. A lot of stuff is still very similar to high school. Overall, just be safe. Don't worry too much. You will have a decent time, probably eventually. You got this. And if you have any more questions, feel free to comment them down below and I'll probably respond to them. I just kind of want to be like your college fairy godmother, helping you out. Well, that was my video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe down below. I make new videos every single Saturday and I would love to have you. Hope you guys have a great day and I love you so much. Bye!